Welcome, everyone, to this program called Partnering with Universal Beings. Discover how to receive guidance from other dimensions to improve your life and the world. I'm here with Patricia Cota-Robles and Suzanne Giesemann, and welcome to the program, Patricia and Suzanne.
Well, I'm honored to be here.
Thank you, Steve. It's just great to be part of this program.
Okay, and I'm going to properly introduce them here in just 1 second. So we've also been working with Patricia and Suzanne on an acclaimed 8-week masterclass for those who want to go deeper with them. We'll tell you more about that a little later, so be sure to stay with us till the end. But for now, let's focus on the exciting things that we're going to be diving into with them in this moment. I'm going to introduce my special guest now. Patricia Cota-Robles is an internationally known spiritual teacher sharing the messages from the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth. She is also co-founder and president of the nonprofit educational organization Era of Peace and the annual World Congress on Illumination, now in its 36th year. So great to have you with us, Patricia.
Thank you.
And my other special guest, Suzanne Giesemann, is also a highly respected spiritual teacher and medium. She has written 13 books on spirituality and life after death, and her transition from senior military officer to her current life is featured in the award-winning documentary Messages of Hope, based on her own memoir. She is also the founder of the Awakened Way teachings and was included on the 2022 Walk-Ins list of the 100 most spiritually influential people on the earth. Welcome again, Suzanne.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, so we've got a lot of important ground to cover. Let's just dive right in here. Patricia, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
You were a successful and highly respected family therapist when you first received the call to begin sharing messages from the beings of light with the world. You've been doing this for over 2 decades now, reaching hundreds of thousands all over the planet and guiding them in the process of evolving into their highest selves. Can you tell us a little more about the universal beings whose messages and guidance you share and how you came to be the vehicle through which their wisdom comes to the world?
Yes, I'll be happy to. Those magnificent beings of light are just our sisters and brothers that have evolved to a higher level of consciousness that are assisting us in our life path, not doing things for us, but guiding us and teaching us so that we will learn how to do these magnificent evolutionary steps back to the heart of God for ourselves. And they are all different levels of evolution and consciousness, and they have different titles depending on their service to the light. And there are beings known as crowns, thrones, principalities, cosmic beings, solar logos, galactic beings, archangels, seraphim, cherubim, all graded orders of angels, ascended masters, and the Galactic Federation of Light. And the I am presence of every man, woman, and child, every son and daughter of God throughout the whole of creation. And as you can see, the sons and daughters of God are kind of the lower totem pole, and the other beings of light are like college professors compared to us being more like kindergarten students. And one of the things that helps with this, I've had that intuitive inner guidance probably all my life. But one of the things that began really resonating with me was the understanding of the universal law that we've probably all heard about, which is called as above, so below. And in the physical plane of Earth, none of us are supposed to go through all the different fields of science and academics through trial and error without the guidance and assistance of teachers and professors to guide us along the way who have gone before us and learned and then taught us so that we can then learn and in turn share that information with those on the path behind us. And so as I began meditating and contemplating this, there was a time in my life many decades ago when there was a very tumultuous outer world at that moment. It's very similar to what's going on now. It seems like every facet of life was evolving at some level in chaos. And at that time, during meditation, the beings of light that I communicate with, and I refer to often as the company of heaven, said that it was time for them to begin teaching to the masses of humanity the esoteric teachings that they had shared with a relatively small portion of humanity through the various mystery schools. And now it was time in the evolution of humanity for these esoteric teachings to be considered exoteric, which means literally shared with everyone in the world who is interested about that. And they asked me if I would be willing to share what I was receiving from them without exception to anyone that was interested. And I was very humbled by that and very grateful for the opportunity to share the information that they were sharing with me. And they made it very clear to me, and this is a critical part of my teaching, that I was not being given this responsibility because I am more advanced than any of my other sisters and brothers or any more evolved. And the information they were sharing with me was not considered channeling, and I don't have supernatural extrasensory perception, but rather that what I was doing, sharing with humanity, was our divine birthright and available to each and every person on this planet. In fact, they said the reason I was being selected for this responsibility is because I am no different than everybody else on the planet, and that my mission was to present this information from the illumined truth in ways that would help people realize that this information is available to each and every one of us, and that as we begin to awaken and as we begin to connect with this, we will get that direct guidance from our own I am presence. So these beings of light are our sisters and brothers that have evolved to a higher level of evolution, that are teaching and assisting us on this critical moment in the Earth's evolution as we are being inspired to remember who we are and why we are here so that we can fulfill our divine mission on this planet.
Boy, beautiful. Thank you, Patricia. And Suzanne, I'm going to come over to you here. You used to, of course, be a naval commander and an aide to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staffs, and even flew on Air Force One. But then your whole life shifted to what you do now, helping hundreds of thousands across the world to connect more deeply with universal consciousness and their own soul through your Awakened Way teachings. Can you tell us a little about the higher beings who communicate with you and how you came to make this tremendous detour on your own life path?
Yes, indeed, Steve. I would agree with Patricia that there's no hierarchy here, even with those we connect with. They just want us to share the messages of love and connection. And the beings who I communicate with are also beings of light, but so are we here in our bodies. And I actually couldn't tell you their names. Sometimes I'm able to identify a few of them, but the wisdom that comes from them is so clearly beyond anything that I could access that I've come to trust them. And it's my greatest honor to share with others that we all have access to this wisdom because we're all souls. I didn't know this during my naval career. And what I love and what I've been taught by my team of light beings is that each of us can reach a specific segment of humanity with our own qualities that we bring to the table. And my left brain background, wearing that uniform for 20 years, seems now to be attracting those who wouldn't normally turn to higher guidance. And I love that. I'm able to reach those who are floundering around a bit like I used to and show them that there is another way to face our day-to-day lives. And that's to realize that we are part of something so much greater and that each of us can make a difference in our own way by tuning in to this team of helpers that's available to everyone. I would be lost if I didn't sit each day now and connect. It's so easy to get caught up in the drama. I know that so many people who are listening right now know what it's like to feel only human, but connecting with those who have been human and are now higher beings show us that we are so much more than just these physical bodies. So it's my greatest joy now to have turned up the intuition, to be able to tap in instantly to this higher guidance, to their wisdom for the bigger picture that we don't always get in our limited state here. But just like Patricia said, I didn't know this was available before, but once you open up to it, you realize that we all have access to this. So it's not a special gift. It's an ability that all of us have. And that's why I love programs like Humanity's Team is offering to show us how to tap into that.
Yeah, boy, beautiful. Thank you that you're both sharing really one of a critical thing here, which is actually why we're doing this program, because it's amazing the work you're both doing in the world, of course, but what you're inviting us all to really, it's a level playing field to come down, to do this work, to lift the veil, to be a bridge to loved ones, angels, guides, etc. And where we do this together and raise our vibration, guess what? This whole conscious planet that is our dream, and our destiny, we advance toward that. So, Patricia, I'm going to come back over to you. I know many people out there are amazed to know these universal beings not only exist, but have messages for us and want to help us both evolve as individuals and as a species. Can you share a couple of the most potent messages that these advanced beings have for humanity and our future on planet Earth during this challenging time?
Yes, I think the most critical message coming forth from the heavenly realms is that they are trying to awaken within us the remembrance of our purpose and reason for being on Earth at this time, that we have literally been preparing for lifetimes to be in this physical plane. And they have shared that every single person on this planet is here because we have been specifically selected, and that means every man, woman, and child, to assist with the awakening and with the transformation of this planet back into her planet of light that she was in the beginning before our fall from grace. And so when people say, well, who am I in this overall scheme of things? It isn't that we're more evolved or more special. It's that because of our life experiences, the beings of light said our Father, Mother, God selected us and turned away other sons and daughters that were volunteering to be born because they felt that because of our life experiences, we had a better chance of staying focused on the light and coming from a place of love and our heart-based God self in the face of all adversity, knowing that in this outer world, the negativity, the human miscreations, the thing that we have miscreated by choosing to use our creative faculties of thought and feeling in ways that are not based in love, the negativity and the pain that resulted from that has to be pushed to the surface to be transmuted back into light. And then we will be able to co-create the heart-based patterns for the new world that we're talking about. And so the beings of light are empowering us to know that it is not a fluke that we are here, so that when we feel that we're not of value or that we don't have power, we don't have the ability to make a difference, that's simply not true. Not only that, but another thing they're awakening and reminding us of as they re-empower within us that we are not worthless sinners and worms in the dust, but rather that we are beloved sons and daughters of God, and that all our Father, Mother, God have is ours. They are reiterating the significance of understanding that we are one and there is no separation, that every thought, word, action, or feeling we express affects every other part of life on the planet, and that what one person is thinking or saying is affecting the whole of creation. So we are powerful beyond our knowing. There is no such thing as us and them. So for us to try to harm any other part of life or put ourselves above or before any other part of life. It is an illusion and a miscreation that is perpetuating the pain and suffering on earth. So they're trying to awaken us to our true God reality and to remind us that every other facet of life is also an intelligent aspect of our Father, Mother, God.